Welcome students. This video will go over solving linear systems where you don't have the additive inverse. If you see right there underneath the 3 and the negative 6y, that needs to be fixed. So we need to make some changes there. We have to have the negative 6y that's already there, and that 3y has to be changed to a positive 6y. So when we add that together, we get 0, and that's what we need to eliminate that y variable. So if I take 3y, I times it by 2, we know that'll give us the 6y that we need. So that lets us know that we have to multiply that entire first equation by 2. We have a negative 3x plus 3y equals 18. Now we're going to take that entire equation, we're going to times it by 2. 2 times the 3y will give us the 6y that we want. 2 times the 18 will give us 36. Last of all, 2 times the negative 3x will give us 6x. So that first equation has been changed. Now we bring down the second equation. Negative x minus 6y equals a negative 15. And it's really important that you understand that we're going to add these two equations together. It's always adding from this point out. We add those two equations. Adjust my window a little bit there. Negative 6 and a negative 1y will give us our negative 7x. The y's go to 0. 36 minus 15 will give us the 21. Now we'll have a 7x equals 21. We'll divide the negative 7 into each side, and that'll give us 1x, or x equals a negative 3. So now we have one part of our ordered pair. Now we need to solve for the y. Now the main idea on this next part is that we'll take the first equation, negative 3. That x is going to be replaced by a negative 3 that we found. See right there, I replaced x with a negative 3, and for x. And then we have the positive 3y. Equals 18. Now remember, we only can solve an equation that has one variable, so that substitution of the x value helps us to do that. So 9 plus 3y equals 18. We subtract 9 from each side, and we get 3y equals 18. Another way to look at it, if you want to, we're going to add those two together. And negative 9 plus a negative 9 will be 0, and 18 plus a negative 9 will give me the 9. Now we have the 3y. We want to turn that 3 into a 1, so we divide by a 3, so that'll give us the 1y that we want. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So now we found out our y. Now the ordered pair that we have is a negative 3 and 3. And if you look at our multiple choice answers, that is option A. Okay, the next equation is the same idea. We look at the 3y and the negative 9y. That's the easiest one to do the additive inverse in, so we have to fix that. That 3y needs to be changed to a 9y. So if I take a 9y, add a negative 9, I get 0. We'll take that first equation, and we will multiply it by a positive 3. That will take that first equation. 3 times 3x will give us 9x. 3 times 3y will give us a 9y. And then 3 times 12 will give us the 36. Now we'll bring down our second equation. Adjust my window again. I have x minus 9y equals a negative 6. We add our two equations together. 9x plus 1x is 10x. That y part goes to 0. And 36 out of negative 6 is 30. 10x equals 30. Divide each side by 10. And we get x equals 3. Now, just like before, we'll take that first equation. You can use a second equation, but we're just going to make it a rule that as far as teaching it, we'll just always go to the first equation. We'll replace x with 3. X equals 3, so we can replace every x with 3. We get 3y equals 12. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 3y equals 12. We'll subtract 9 from each side. Do the additive inverse. If you want to think about it, you're basically adding. So 9 plus a negative 9 will give me 0. 12 plus a negative 9 will give me a positive 3. So 3y equals 3. Divide each side by 3, so 1y equals 1. Now our ordered pair that we have here is 3 and 1. Now if you look at your choices, A is none of these, and if you look at B, C, D, and E, none of them work. So what I suggest when this happens to you on a multiple choice test, that you have to check your ordered pair to make sure that it's right. So simply take out a calculator and you'll use the first equation, and everywhere you see a 3 or an x, you'll change it with a 3, and everywhere where you see a y, you'll put a 1 in for the y. And if I do that to the first equation, it should equal 12, and it does. Now we'll go ahead and check it against the second equation. I'll put 3 in for that x minus 9 times, oh, that needs to be a 1. Let me go back and change it. 1, it should be equal to negative 6. So it turns out that none of these will work. It checks out for both the second and first equation, so that's the right answer for that one. So you can have that as a possibility. Okay, thank you for watching.